Hello all, I welcome you all on the webinar of single cylinder engine casing, modeling and analysis using SolidWorks and ANSYS. Following is the outline, firstly about the faculty, about myself, then the introduction of SolidWorks, introduction of ANSYS, then we'll be going through the 3D modeling procedure, then the static structure analysis. About the faculty, my name is Karamveer Singh. My highest qualification is MTech with honors in mechanical engineering from State Government College. One of my highest achievement is I've represented India at International Science and Engineering Camp in 2010 at Seoul National University, South Korea. Now, what is SolidWorks? SolidWorks is a 3D, that is three-dimension computer aided designing software with dedicated tools for part modeling and assembly. Yes, the one of the highlighting feature of SolidWorks is that you can easily create the part model, whether it is surface modeling, whether it is sheet metal, or the highlighting feature is that the features module of for creating a solid part. It is having application in automobile, aerospace, and similar mechanical engineering domains. Following are the benefits of SolidWorks. Working on SolidWorks is more user-friendly and time-consuming. It aids in smooth evolution from 2D to 3D based design methodologies. For example, if you're working or you worked previously on 2D geometries, now you can easily jump up into the 3D modeling with the help of SolidWorks software. Third is advanced technology for part modeling based on a specification oriented modeling approach. Then is if you have designed a particular mechanism, as in the case of sliding mechanism, wiper mechanism, or any machinery, then you can simulate and perform a study using SolidWorks motion. Following is the example of the complex geometry that you can create. This is a 3D model of a Jeep-inspired model with a roll cage, whole of the body, wheel. Also, it includes the suspension. Computer-aided engineering, one of the important tool of computer-aided engineering is ANSYS. Now, ANSYS is what? ANSYS is a finite element analysis software. The concept, it works on the finite element creation and then solving the nodes. So it's a finite element analysis software relying on finite element method in order to simulate CAD 2D as well as 3D model. You can go with 2D geometries, but you can also create 3D model of structures, machine components, electronics, with the objective to explore the strength, toughness, elasticity, temperature distribution, fluid flow, electromagnetism, and other attributes. Following are the benefits. First is the modeling benefit. There are two modules that are offered for modeling. One is the design modular and another one is your space clip. Definitely, these are the model for creating 3D models and 2D models. But for creating complicated geometry, you must have a dedicated 3D software such as CATIA or SolidWorks. Second benefit is during the meshing. Meshing is what? That is discretizing your 3D model into small elements. This can be done by global and local mesh control. Two controls are offered by ANSYS. The third is various study modules such as static, thermal, buckling analysis, modal analysis. Modal means in order to find out the natural frequency of vibration of a particular body with respect to workbench. Okay, so these are a number of modules are available for analysis of various finding out various parameters and various working conditions in the workbench. Fourth is the simulation of flow, that is fluid flow with multiple species and multiple phases is also achieved with the help of ANSYS CFD module. This is one of the example of ANSYS study in which this has been replicated as a graphic card and electronic item. Since currently the electronic and electrical department is growing, and even in the mechanical industry, mechatronics has been introduced. So if we need to find out that how heat dissipation can be achieved and how we can go with different designs for electronic component to achieve the optimum temperature, you can perform that study also with the help of ANSYS. Okay, so let's get started with our case study. So what we'll be dealing with today is creating such cylinder. Okay, what I'll be doing, I'll be explaining the procedure. Definitely creating all of this cylinder geometry requires a lot of time and also the data. So it would be better that you explore the concept by joining the course. And today what I'll do, I'll explain you how you can create such data, such geometries. Okay, we'll start to create such cylinders. So we'll be starting with creating a geometry. I'll explain you the procedure. You go with that. I'll create a rough geometry and then we'll be working on this one. Okay, so this I've already prepared so as to save the time. Okay, so you can see this is what we have to create, and I'll explain the procedure. So what is this? This is a single cylinder petrol engine. Okay, so to design such engine, what we have to do, this is the outer body. Okay, so it is completely solid from inside, and then you can discrete the individual parts, and you can redesign them with respect to detailing, and then you can go with assembly. Okay, so I'll explain you the procedure. So what do we go with? So in case of an engine, there are basically three parts, major three parts: cylinder head, cylinder, and then the crank casing. Okay, so then you have the RH and the LH cover. So this one is the RH cover. So RH cover involves the clutch plates in majority of the motorcycle engines, and in the LH side, that is left hand side, there are the dynamo magnets. Okay, for electricity production. So what you have to do is, if you need to design such engines, firstly go with the outer boundary. Okay, so this one is the outer boundary. Then you have to extrude or give the height to this geometry outer boundary to a level that is common in both of these three designs. Okay, first step is that. Second, you go with the detailing by one. So one by one step you have to follow. Once you have created whole of this body, you will save this geometry as much as part you want. For example, if I need to find out, say, need to break this solid object into six parts, then I'll go into file, save as. Six time I'll perform the save as option. I'll assign the different name to them. And then I'll be using extrude cut operation to remove the extra part and work on my single 3D model. So I'll show you the procedure. Okay. So first, what you have to do is you have to create the 3D solid. Okay. The ultimate boundary of the geometry which you want. Like, so we have to work on an engine. So this is how you have to go with the geometry. Okay. So this, let it be, this is my outer periphery. So it's similar to what we have created there. And then you have to provide the dimensions. So dimensioning is done on the basis of the referencing lines. Okay. You provide the reference, separate the object. So this one is my cylinder, and this belongs to the fin area. Okay. Then this one is the cylinder head, and I need to break this into two pieces. Okay. Now, because this will be the cylinder and the would be the casing. Okay, so two pieces you have to figure out. Then you can eliminate these constraints, because if you go with if you need to find out there should be two lines should be parallel to each other, in that case you have to select the two lines. And if you have the constraint, then the uh, uh, another constraint which you need to apply may not exist. Okay, so you have to work with respect to constraints. Okay, you have to see that that particular constraint is possible or not. If it is not possible, then make it possible by deleting some of the other constraint. Okay, then once you have defined the geometry, you will use the smart dimension to provide the numerical data with respect to the dimensions. Okay, this is how you'll be defining the dimension between the two lines. Okay, say 30 mm. Okay, this is how you can fit your geometry. First is always focus on defining the geometry. Then you focus on defining the dimensions. Okay, So this I've created. Now I'll be eliminating this line. So this is how you create a reference, then you work on the geometry. Okay. So outer body was my reference. Okay. Now I'll be using this to connect over here. Okay. Then I'll use the trim command. Okay. So you can see the boundary has been created now. Next is what I'll be using the extrude command. I'll be extruding it with the help of mid-plane option and increasing the value. Now this will be the common part. Okay. The common part. And press OK command. And you have obtained this geometry. Next is what? Next it will be separating the geometries. Okay, how to do that? Like first we have to go with the cylinder part, cylinder head. So one by one we'll be approaching. So cylinder head, I'll go on the mid plane. Okay, so this is the option of mid plane extrude that you'll be opting, so that the further operation which you go for, whether it is extracting the individual identity, it will be easy for you. Okay, so we'll be converting the outer boundary. The background edges can be converted into in sketch. Okay, this is how I'll be converting them. Now you can see it has been converted into sketches, and I'll go with the this line for separating the head. Okay, then we can go with the extrude command, and we can have the highlighting part. You can see now this one is highlighted. Okay, similar, we can go with the cylinder also. So this one is the cylinder part. So I'll select the mid plane, go into the sketch, and then you have to select the boundary. Okay, again go with the convert entity, select the edges like this. Okay, press OK, and then you can create a line like this. Then what you have to do, you have to go with the extrude command, again select the mid plane. Okay, then we'll reduce it by say 55, so that we can obtain separation like this. Okay. Next is what? Next is I need to define the fins. So to obtain fin geometry, you have to first create the slotted area. Okay. Now how to create that slotted area? So you have to create firstly the rectangle under which the cylinder will be there. Okay. Then you have to create the outer periphery. This area will be eliminated. Okay. Then you have to define the geometry dimensions. Okay, then we'll be providing the dimensions, assigning it to the center, 23. Okay. 20. Okay. Then it is coming to the center. Now what we'll be doing is we'll be cutting it. Okay, so this will be what? This will be the slotted area. Okay, the gap between the two fins. So I'm making it 8 mm. It is too high. 4 mm. Okay. Now we need to cut this into multiple parts so that we get the fin geometry. Okay, so this is the gap between the two fins. Because you have to note that point. Now what I need to follow particular path. I cannot go by this inclined path, neither I can go with any of the edges, right? So I need to find out one of the line about which we can repeat over these steps. So one of the line which you can follow is this edge. Okay, also we can go with this edge because these are two parallel lines. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to go with the linear pattern. I'll select my cut and I'll select my edge. This one is my edge because you could find out that repetition are occurring, right? So the gap is this one. So the 4 mm was the thickness, and if you need to find out what should be the thickness of the fin, then that would be the gapping. Okay, so you have to, if for instance the fin is of 1 mm, then you will provide the distance between two pattern as 5 mm. Okay, then you'll get, you can see this is the 1 mm gap you're getting. So this 1 mm gap will not be trimmed. Okay, so I'll make it 6 mm, and now we can provide the number of counts. Okay, like this, and press OK. See, now you're getting that fin. Okay, this is how, these are the tricks that you will be explained once you join the course. Okay, so there are n number of ways by which you can create such geometry. Such any geometry is possible with the help of 3D modeling software. Next is what? We need to go with the RH and LH cover. So select the phase, go into sketch, control 8, and then you have to convert the whole of the boundary, right? And go with the offset command. Select the offset. So and select these edges. Okay, these edges like this, and then go with the reverse direction. Okay, then provide the in between distance. This is the offset. Okay, then you have to close this profile, and we can go with the 3-point arc like this. So this will become my LH cover, and I can repeat the geometry on the other side to obtain the RH cover. Okay. For further geometry, you can create a stepping profile to add more and more detailing to your geometry. And to obtain this side also, you can just go with the mirror command. So there is a mirror command by which you can repeat the geometry on the other side. So this is the advantage that you get when you go with the mid plane extrude. Okay, I'll be getting my plane at the mid and just select the extrude and press play. This is how you can obtain the geometry on the other side also. And detailing is no limit. You can go with the n number of detailing as you want. Exact real geometry you'll be able to get of any engine. Okay, your personal engine as well. So since I've already done this work, so this is what I have already created. Okay, so here you can see these are the detailing for the foundation bolts, fastening bolts. Okay, and this one is for the entry of the shocker. Okay, swing arm connection bolts. Okay, this is for the exhaust, timing chain setting, and inlet carburetor setting, inlet manifold for the carburetor. Okay, this is how you can go with the detailing part. And then once you have created such geometry, okay, then what you have to do now, sir, I need to cut this part. Now, this is the main geometry and the size will not be altered anymore. Right now I need to work on the detailing part. Since the RH cover will be hollows, these will be hollow, there will be a cylinder inside of that. Okay, cylinder liner and all of that, those detail to work on that. So one first step is what you have to create such a design. Okay, of any complex machine which you want, first create the boundary part, and then you can enter into the detailing part. That would be a easy task for you. Like if you create individual entity first, then you have to note down several dimensions to come up to the another geometry so that it can be matched at the end. But if you create the boundary first and then slot individual entity to get the individual part and then work on the detailing, you will find that the part at the assembly point of view, when you'll be assembling all of these components, they will be assembled very easily. Okay, since the boundary was predefined before entering into details. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to save this geometry as n number of as many as part you want. You have to save them with respect to the number of parts. Okay, so I'll go with the save as say cylinder CYL cylinder and part. Okay, save. I'll cut this geometry and I'll open that this I had already made. So let me just show you how you have to work it. Because I'll open the cylinder. Now see how you have to work with this thing is I need to cut this part, okay, separately. So that I need to work on the cylinder part, okay. Now how I can do that? So very easy, just select the front plane or the mid plane. Okay, so in my case front plane is the mid plane. I'll enter into the sketch mode, and what I'll do, I'll crop the extra part just with the help of a line, okay, like this. Definitely you have to follow the constraints. In order to save the time, just I'm showing you the procedure. Okay, like I need to slot it from this end, so I'll select this line and then form a boundary like this. Okay, then close this boundary. Now what will happen is uh, when I'll exit the sketch, then I'll be selecting the extrude cut. The whole of the part inside the geometry, this one and this one. Okay, the material will be slotted. Okay, so you see maybe there are overlapping, like there is some error. Okay, So you need not to panic any point, okay? Just see what is the error where it is coming. So I'll use the constraint to join this line to this point. Yeah, I think so. The error is eliminated. Now we'll select the sketch and go in the extruded cut operation. Okay, now it is eliminated. The error is eliminated. Now we'll select through all both. Now through all both means cutting on the both side through all till the end. You need not to worry about the numerical value for that. Okay, like what was the distance which we are given for the end? Just select the through all option. Whole of the material will be eliminated from both the sides. Press OK. Now see, it is so simple. Okay, just we have used the extruded cut operation. Now we can go with this creating of the cylinder, and that means the detailing part. I need to select this face, press Control 8, and then provide the, this will be the cylinder. Okay, 70 mm of cylinder I'm providing. Then I'll use the extruded cut operation to cut this material again through all. Now is what? Now we need to provide the cylinder liner. Okay, so again I'll select this surface. Control 8. Control it was is for the normal. Okay, normal view. Then again provide the circle, and this will be the thickness of the liner. Okay, so I'll provide it 65 mm, 65, and extrude. Okay, now 10 mm on the upside because it will fit in the cylinder head, and similarly in the bottom. Okay, you can change the dimension like this and press OK. Then you can create the geometry on the top for fastening of cylinder, head, cylinder, and crank all at the once. Okay, so that is done by creating a geometry on the face that are already done. Okay, so I'll show you the completed part. So you can see at this side. Okay, so this one is the fastening part. Okay, there are 4 nuts that are attached, that are used for attaching cylinder head, cylinder, and the crankcase. Okay. Now, this is how you have to create the geometry. This is the procedure in SolidWorks. Okay. So it depends upon the dimensions which you are having. And if you are not having the dimension, then too you can create any machinery, and that is based upon the scaling technique and the referencing technique. That all will be explored to you once you join the course. Okay, this session is for giving a demo on how can you generate an engine profile, and then go with the analysis part. So we have so far done the first half, that we have created a geometry, created a 3D model of that 2D geometry, and now we'll be performing the analysis part. Okay, so the Jeep model, let me just show you the Jeep model which you had seen in the PPT. Okay, so this one is the Jeep inspired model. Okay, uh, okay, so it is in the completing process. So you can see this is the roll cage design. You can also generate the any design. Okay, so this one generally people ask that how can be generated as roll cage. This is how you have this is a perfect example of sweep command. You can use the sweep command to create the roll cages and follow a particular track. Okay, so this is a full cage design where it is also covering the engine part. Half cage design is also available that just covered the passenger part. Okay. So leaf spring, axle. Okay. Detailing is still left, but just I wanted to show you that how you can go with the complicated geometry also. This is one of the example. Further, more complication can be done. Any geometry can be performed. Okay. Now let us explore the analysis part. So what we have to do is once you have created the cylinder, now you have to save this cylinder into a universal format that can be accepted by your ANSYS. Okay, file, then click on save as, then select the STEP 203 format. This is for a 3D part. Okay, so we have created a 3D part, so we'll be selecting the STEP 203. Okay, then I've already saved this in the STP format. Then next, what you have to do, you have to select the open the ANSYS, go with the static structure module. In the static structure module, right click on geometry and import the geometry. Okay, you have to select the geometry STEP cylinder. Okay, I've already done that. And then you have to enter into model. Okay, if by default material in ANSYS is structural steel. If you need to change the structural steel to any material, you can definitely go with that. You can also assign your own material. Okay, you have to click on edit and then you can go with assigning the new material or uh, ANSYS database material. Okay. So by default, I'll be going with the structural steel. And ANSYS is for the analysis. It is based upon the finite element method, that is breaking your 3D model into a number of elements and then solving as per the required parameter and the boundary condition, the result on the nodes. Okay. So you have to click on the edit operation in the model and you'll get this window. I've already solved that. So as to save the time, I'll repeat the procedure that you have to perform. Okay. So this is the geometry which we have obtained. When you'll expand the geometry, you'll click on the cylinder. Cylinder is the part which we have created. You just select the cylinder, and here you'll be getting the assigning option, assign material. Okay. So if you have selected n number of material, then you can just click on this arrow button and you can obtain the list. Just you have to click on that material and the material will be allotted. Another important aspect is you can also get the mass and volume of the geometry. This is actually a complex procedure because you have to go with the weighing machine if you're creating that in the reality. But here it is very simple. Just expand the properties window and you'll get the mass and volume. So you can see the mass is 4.57 kg. Okay, the mass is 4.7, approximately 5 kgs, we can say, yes, 4.6 kgs. Okay, if you are using material as structural steel. Then we'll be selecting mesh. Mesh is the main important aspect. Here you have to provide the mesh sizes. There are n number of ways by which you can adjust the meshing. Okay, there are n number of ways by which you can adjust the meshing. How can be done that? It is with the help of global and local control. These are the global controls, and by right clicking, you can get the local controls. Just a minute. I think so that window was not available. Okay, so now it is open. Bye. So what I was explaining was you have to enter into static structure, and in static structure, first is the engineering data. In engineering data, the material allotment is done. Then is the geometry part. In the geometry part, you have to assign the geometry. Okay, from here you have to go into the browse option, and you can browse the geometry wherever you have created. Then you have to click on model, and in the model, you have to go in the edit option, and you'll get this window. Okay. From here, you have to click on the geometry and expand the geometry to get your 3D model. Once you click on the 3D model, you'll get the material assignment. So here is the assignment option. From here, you can provide the structure of any material which you want. Okay. Then is you have to expand the properties. Here you get the volume and the mass option. Volume and mass. Okay, so we can see the mass is 4.6 kgs. Okay, then is the mesh. In meshing is the concept is what the main concept to remember is you have to discretize your element. Select such controls of local and global control so that your geometry is divided into a number of pieces. There are no gaps, neither there are flat faces. Okay, in the case of the curved surface, there should be no flat faces. Okay, this is what you have to remember. Okay, moreover, you have to ultimate objective is that my result should validate with the experimental data. Once you have obtained the result matching with the experimental data, then your job is done. Okay, the main concept is this, and the error limit which is permissible is generally 5% error from analytical and experimental data. Okay, so this is the main concept. So don't bother about that. Oh, my mesh is not coming, or the sizes are going too large. No, that is not the concept. The concept which you have to remember is first your geometry should be discretized into pieces. That is, there should be no gapping and flat surfaces on the curves and stuff like that. Second is your result. Ultimately, your result should validate with the experimental data. This is what you have to remember. Okay, so based upon that, they are offering you the global and local mesh control. These are the global mesh control. Here you can select the relevant center, inflation, sizing, and these are the local mesh control. We can go with sensing of your elements. Method means based upon the geometry, chord, pyramid shape. Okay, so these are the geometry, multiple geometry out of which you can select. Okay, and then refinement, particular surface you can select and increase the refinement of that. Okay, so there are various modes, so local and global controls. Then is what, the static structure. The static structure, model, thermal, the when you were opting any of them, so you'll after the mesh you'll obtain that name. If it is modal analysis, that is natural frequency vibration. In that you'll be selecting the model. Okay, so once you click on the particular study module, you'll get these options. Okay, with respect to your specific study, what we have to do is we have to allot the support. First is always remember that you have to allot the support. Okay, so fixed support I'll be allotting. So I've selected the fixed support and selected these surfaces. Okay, I've done the previous stuff so that time can be saved. Okay, so these require solving time is required very much. So instead of wasting the time, I've already done that, and I'll be exploding you the procedure. So what we have to do, we have to select these faces, and similarly, I've selected the bottom faces. Okay, so these faces, even including the internal cylinder face, these will be fixed. Okay, during the analysis in the real case scenario. So I've selected these are the fixed faces. Then I've allotted the pressure on the inside due to the combustion. Okay, this is what we need to analyze that during the combustion, how the expansion will occur. So you can see I've provided just a 50 megapascal pressure, okay, megapascal. Then these are the parameters, okay, the boundary conditions. Then I'll be selecting the solution parameter. Just click on the solution. This is the common term in all of these study. So click on the solution, then you'll get the window over here for the solution parameter that you can obtain. So the deformation, total deformation, shear stress, that is where the shearing will occur, and the strain energy. Okay, then you have to just right click and click on the solve option. Since I've already solved that, just to save the time, I've already obtained these results. So what you have to do, you have to click on the messages. If there are some error generally come with respect to the solving errors, or if the the load so provided results in extreme deformations. Okay, then there are generally errors with respect to deformations that you have to look through. Okay, then you have to change the magnitude, okay, of the loads. So this is the total deformation. You can see how explosion is taking place. However, this is always remember that ANSYS, this is the pictorial representation of multiple data. Okay, never make a conclusion on that. Okay, conclusion, you have to go with the numerical values. So this is just a pictorial representation. You can see now the unit is in millimeter and the maximum value is 0.03 millimeters. It's really less value with respect to the changes which you're able to see. This is the trend which ANSYS is showing. This is how the expansion will occur. Okay, so you don't have to go with the making a conclusion. Okay, so this much is the explosion which will be occurring. No, try to understand that you have to go with the numerical value. So it's in millimeter and maximum deformation is occurring at this end, and it is just 0.03 mm. Okay, not even 0.3 mm, it's 0.03. Okay, so you can click on the play for animation purpose, so as to explain your professors or in any presentation. So this is how explosion will occur, and these are the deformation which you can see. Then click on strain energy. These are the areas where you'll be getting the higher strain energies. Okay, a strain energy means during the deformation, the energy will be saved. Okay, the element which will not deform will store the energy. Okay, so there you'll be getting the maximum energy storage. And this is the shear stress area. Okay, this one is has the maximum shearing area. Now, how to conclude? You can see the value is in megapascal, 91 megapascal over here is the shear stress. Okay, then the material which you are using, you have to see, considering the factor of safety, what is the allowable shear stress. And if this 91 megapascal is exceeding your allowable shear stress, then definitely failure has occurred. If it is less than your allowable shear stress, then the failure has not occurred. Okay. So this is how you work on the ANSYS. And with respect to data part, I will provide you the concept by which you can provide the data on a specific point. Also, you can find out the data on a specific point. Now, currently it is like abrupt, right? We need to, if for instance, I need to provide force at this particular node. That is also possible. If you need to find out the result at this particular node, that is also possible. Okay. Moreover, the if you click on mesh, you'll find out in the statistic the number of mesh. There are 97,231 nodes. Okay, out of which these elements have been made. If you need to find out 97,231 results, that means 97,231 nodes, their location with respect to your global coordinate system, and a specific result on those nodes. That is also possible. Okay, so it's a procedure that you have to go through, and I'll explain you the procedure. That is of real significance. Okay, so you have to convince, or you have to see the trend. What is the trend of the formation? Where the changes can be made? Which nodes can be altered? Okay, that can be easily explored with the help of those nodal data. That is also a very critical part, and you can explore that. Okay, so this is how you go with the creation of a 3D model and analysis of that model with the help of ANSYS software. So I would suggest you to join the course of ANSYS and 3D modeling software such as SolidWorks, so that you can design your own engine, your own machinery, and not just designing whether that machine is feasible, checking its feasibility with the help of ANSYS software. Okay, so thanks for attending the webinar. Thanks a lot, and we should see you all in the courses. Okay, so this is CAD Center. We are available at CAD Center, Hazarganj and Alambagh. You can contact us to go with the courses. Thank you very much for attending the webinar.